Don't pay a quarter, don't pay a dime, don't pay a penny, don't waste your time. If half a penny is all he asks, don't give him any. Lay off his tracks, my half a penny is what he'll say. Still a steep price, just walk away.
Good morning, Hit Nation, folks, folks, and everything in between and beyond. My name is Roy, the host of my Pennies, the host of these pregame pennies. Heat faces the Magic at home tonight, but I completely, because of stress, forgot to include the game of the Suns along with the game of the Jazz because that was the right combination. So I'm also going to talk about the game of the Suns against the Suns a little bit because I think it shows a good trend. Right, again in this West Coast stretch, we showed a good trend in terms of specifically offensive rebounding. And please follow us at Pennies. Any like, any follow, any watch helps us. I don't know, helps us achieve what. I just want to keep talking, and of course, I want to have more people who would come to the show because I may not know much, but I know how to ask questions, and in those questions, I know how to listen. So definitely, I am looking for people. If anybody watching would like to add to the channel, would like to come and talk a little bit with me. With a call, that would be a very interesting proposition. So please, follow us, let us know. In any case, first things first, let's talk about the game against the Suns. I'm going to do it as quickly as I can, okay, in this case, right? Because we're just going to try to get to the video. So first thing is that it was a very much battled game, right? But I don't know, I never felt, even when they actually got close to the lead changes, and the fact that there were 10 lead changes, 8 times tied. Of course, the Miami Heat had the biggest lead, which basically put the game away, but only in the fourth quarter, whereas the Suns only had a lead of 2. It was a 111-102 outing, 59 rebounds to us, 56 to them. We had 21 assists, better assists this time. They had only 14, 6 steals apiece. They had 7 blocks. It's their thing a little bit more than ours, right? Especially missing Ware. So we only had 3 blocks, but we still had 3 blocks. And we only had 5 turnovers, by the way, until I think about 6 minutes into the fourth quarter. So basically all the turnovers that we had, and most of the turnovers also, about half of the turnovers that the Suns had, were the ones that helped us increase the lead. Because all the ties also happened in the first half. The game was pretty much out of hand by the beginning of the fourth, and it just kept on growing because we forced them on those turnovers. And then we had also our share of turnovers, but that was mostly when the game was kind of out of reach. We shot 41.9% off the field, 37% to them, 25.7% to us on 3 points. We're going to talk about how much we shot, 20% to them, so we definitely had a better outing. 82%, almost 83% of free throws for us, 80%, almost 81% for them. 54 points to the paint to us, 50 to them. 19 second chance points apiece, 18 fast break points to us, 12 to them. And that also comes a lot because of those last forced turnovers. Delon Brooks can play for any team that we face this season, because it seems like if we see his face, we just want to play better. Now, Larson was not in his best game. It actually was not his best game at all, but he scored 10. It was a minus 14, I think the biggest minus. Minus 14, so definitely, 3 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 of them offensive. But the 10 points, most of them also came to increase that lead and when, to kind of put the game out of reach. So, and again, Pelle Larsson always showing his effort. Andrew Wiggins had a very good game, even though he only scored 10 points with a +2. No turnovers, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, 4 of those offensive. Bam Adebayo finished with a -7, 22 points, 4 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block, 2 steals, 1 assist, 7 rebounds. Again, 4 of those offensive. Norman Powell with a +7, 16 points, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 assist, 10 rebounds. So a double-double for him. 2 of those offensive. Yakuchonis, Kaz, definitely surprising us more and more. He should be the one that follows Davion Mitchell simply because that's the way that Spo is going to do it when Davion Mitchell comes back, and talk about the injury report later. But he had a +6 with 7 points. Did have 3 personal fouls, but he had 1 block, 2 steals, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, half of those offensive rebounds. Another good game for Nikola Jovic. 17 +17 with 12 points, no turnovers, 1 assist, 6 rebounds, 1 of those offensive. Jaime Jaquez with a +19, the biggest plus and minus here, +19 with 20 points, 2 personal fouls, 2 turnovers, 1 block, no steals, but 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 of those offensive. Myron Gardner, my gosh, is he not to be included in the rotation? +6 with only 2 points. He did have 2 personal fouls, but he had 1 assist and 1 offensive rebound. And Drew Smith with a -3, but actually thought he played very decently with 11 points, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, 1 steal. No, sorry, 1 block, I think. Not mistaken. Yeah, 0 turnovers, 1 block, no steals, 2 assists, and 1 offensive rebound, if I'm not mistaken here. Or 2 rebounds, sorry. One of them offensive. It gets to my ADHD, guys. It gets to a certain point, but I start seeing anyways. But I stopped seeing anything. Fontecchio actually had a +4, only 1 point, 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover. It's very interesting how to make this work. But he had 3 assists and 5 defensive rebounds. So it was a game against the Suns, and I thought it was important for me to talk about that. Before we talk about the injury report for tonight, which we kind of have an idea that Tyler Hero has been ruled out, so whatever it was about availability, only missed 5 games last season. It's completely not happening this season. We have Davion Mitchell, who is questionable with a shoulder injury. We have Normal Powell, who's questionable with a back injury. Khalil Ware, questionable with a hamstring injury. And we have Tyler Hero ruled out because of a rib. And Rozier is out because of an NBA cover-up. Well, I'm not even going to pretend that this isn't a cut. I cut it right as soon as I got notification that Giannis is looking for a new home before February 5th, which is next week, by the way, I think Thursday. So I was going to say that Franz Wagner is out, I think an ankle injury, and that's why he's not going to be with the team. So this is the only injury for them, and I'm going to put it on the screen. I'm going to continue as if this is kind of what I was going to say, but no, and I actually now can chime in a little bit more when it comes to trades and kind of explain where I stand. But I was going to talk about the Miami Heat versus the Orlando stats, and basically I'm going to say that the Orlando are 8th in the East right now. They are, if I'm not mistaken, 14th in points per game. Let me see. They should be 14th in points per game. Well, we are 3rd in points per game. We are 7th in the East, 25-22, 119.7, right, are the points per game. Rebounds per game, we went up to 5th, 46.2. That's the trend that I like. Offensive rebounds, protecting the glass, taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of. Assists per game remained the same at 28.6, and we went down at opponent's point allowed per game with 118. Now, Orlando, as I said, because right now I have to kind of re-put everything that I had on the screen before I saw that everything was kind of echoey. But Orlando are 20th. No, they're 20th in points per game allowed. They're 14th in opponents they're 20th in points per game, and they are 14th in opponents points per game. So 20th means 115 points per game, about 44 rebounds per game at 14th, about 26 assists per game at 15th, and as I said, opponents points per game 115 and a half to them, about right in 14th place. But now let's talk a little bit about what's happening. So with Giannis, first of all, as Raf said before, and then we saw it, of course, on ESPN with Brian Windhorst, as I also saw on Locked On Heat today, in some cuts, and also the entire videos that I watch from all these people, and I agree with them that we are now in a very unique situation of getting the whale that Pat Riley had been promising for a long time. Last time that Giannis was even on the table was because he was going to become a free agent, which is what the Miami Heat made a mistake on, waiting for him to become a free agent and so forth. At the end of the day, that just didn't happen because he did not want to part ways with the Bucks. But now it's clear that he does, and because of that, can talk about a couple of trades that have been kind of talked about, right? For example, the two trades that gained some traction. The one that gained the most traction is Kuminga, right? Getting Kuminga on the team, being able to get perhaps in this case, right, either Wiggins, right, for Kuminga and some draft capital. That could be something interesting for us to be able to have more draft capital. Ref says we would go from 2 first-round picks to 3, but Barry Jackson explains a scenario in which we would have 4 before February 5th. If we get some draft capital for, let's say, Wiggins, and we know that kitchen sink and baby included are going to be important in this trade. Of course, we cannot have everybody that is good in the team to be shipped out, but if they want hero, hero. If they want Bam, which is less likely, not because they don't want Bam, because I think Giannis would like to play with Bam, and bye Bam, and that is an interesting decision. I don't think that the Miami Heat are necessarily allowing Bam to be in that conversation. But I'm pretty sure that they are having this conversation about Hero, and this is not new. And this is kind of connected as a little bit to his injuries and to his to his availability. This is the way that I see things. I don't believe that his injury versus last year that he only missed 5 games, that his injury makes him miss, pretty much the entire season. It sounds kind of like there have been trade talks already in place. And so basically, I wasn't thrilled with having Morant coming into the team if it meant us losing draft capital, and I said that already here. And I certainly wasn't interested in having, Kuminga as a long term type of thing. But the truth is that is not, right? It's not supposed to be. Trade for Kuminga is either for us to have more capital and more assets for the summer or for now. That's basically what it is. And for Ja, the only thing you would have lost would be expiring contracts anyway. However, for Giannis, you probably are going to lose Ware or Jovic or both, maybe even Jaime Jaquez. It's another great tool for them. As long as we are able to keep a consistency in the roster, so not just ship everybody out and leave kind of Giannis hanging, especially because we're going to lose draft capital, right? But try to keep some of our young core, try to keep some of the players that have been doing well. In this case, Normal Powell would be extended most likely, but yet definitely having Giannis in the team is a game changer. But the team has to be good. We see what happened. We saw what happened with the Bucks. The team still has to be good, and I believe that this is what the Miami Heat front office is looking for and was looking for. That's why no splash has been made by absolutely any other team before right now. Now, we need to, before we even think about the trade, but that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen between now and the 5th, which again is next week, and how the teams are going to scramble to try to get Giannis and who is going to get Giannis, if anyone, if they decide to trade him before the deadline, or if they decide to wait until the summer, in which Miami can position itself to be to have more capital, right? To have more assets for that. Now, whether or not Bucks come here, like I said, Trump, my God, washing my thoughts. Giannis to Miami would be something that I believe is a pipe dream because of our assets, but maybe not so much now, especially because if Giannis is actually that conversation is happening is because it's obvious that Giannis is asked out, and so that changes where my video was going entirely. But before that, lost to Orlando 3 times this season. We need to win tonight. And hopefully, we're able to continue to keep up with this rebounding situation. And especially if Ware and Davion Mitchell come back, that Spo can be wise with the rotation. And for example, not insert Ware in the starting lineup anymore, because I am already convinced that that does not work. Stay safe, stay dry, stay warm. It's glacial now in Miami. It's under 60s. It's as happens possible. It's a very complicated world of ours. Sorry for the long video. It just happened. And I see some suggestions from Barry Jackson. Hopefully, I put it in the rest of the video. But I'm not recording this again. It's the 4th time I record today over 5 minutes. It's exhausting. Let's go Heat.